Yo guys, what is going on? Slayer, we're back a brand new video. In this video, we are doing my tier list for the end of the 2021-2022 season. Today, after I'm recording it, it is technically it's Sunday, but the Cowboys just beat the Eagles, finished their season like 12-5, and the Chiefs beat the Broncos. Broncos almost beat them. Broncos were kind of assholes trying to beat them, but I am doing a tier list because I did one back in week 7 and it didn't turn out the same. This is what my week 7 tier list looked like. I'm not doing it in this format of Super Bowl contender, playoff, middle ground, meh, and trash, because Super Bowl contenders we kind of already know, playoff we already know, and I was wrong about like this aged horribly, but this was through week 7. Like Dolphins came back, Chiefs were still horrible, Colts were still horrible, Niners were still horrible, Eagles still horrible. I wasn't too off with some of these teams. Patriots ended up going higher, but whatever. We're gonna start ranking, and I added an F tier because I feel like there's teams that definitely deserve to be in the F tier. But we're just gonna go in order here. Titans, S tier. They've had a great season. Especially with their best player being out. Derrick Henry has been out a majority of the season. I think got injured like week 8. I know he got injured back like before November started. Not led, but was still top 5 in rushing yards up until like a couple weeks ago. Absolutely insane. He's gonna be coming back for the playoffs, I'm pretty sure, is what I read. But yeah, the Titans really could be going to the Super Bowl this year. Do I think they will? Probably not. We'll see how Derrick Henry does in the playoffs, but he has been out for a very long time, and I don't think Tannehill can carry this team, so that's that. Dolphins, it kind of hurts me, dude. I'll put them in C because of the defense. I don't think their offense is very good. Tua just disappoints me all the time. I want Tua to be good. Tua's a left-handed quarterback, and I didn't really grow up watching any left-handed quarterbacks. Like, I wasn't watching Michael Vick growing up or anything because I was like young and I wasn't into football yet. And Tua's a left-handed quarterback, so I was really hyped seeing him come out of college that I would be able to see a left-handed quarterback play just because it's something different. And he hasn't done anything. He literally has a nickname Tua, turn the ball over. So it's not looking good. I will put them at C, kind of middle ground. They did have a very long run of a 7-game win streak. Jets, F. Fucking horrible. You guys are horrible. They have some hope though with Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson will be good in a few years. He just has to get better at his decision making. He has a lot of turnovers, a lot of dumb turnovers at that. Like some of his picks he throws, it's just like you shouldn't be throwing those picks. They're just bad. I think they'll do better. They had a new coach this year. I don't think their coaching's bad, by the way. It's all new for them. So it's going to be a while for them to get into the hang of things. For Bengals, they're going right up in A tier. I don't think they're just not as consistent for me. And this is coming from a big Burrow fan. I was massive on Burrow. I loved watching Burrow play in college. He was like one of the first quarterbacks I watched in college because I wasn't a big like college fan or anything. Like I didn't really watch college. And then Joe Burrow and LSU team, that was all talked about. I started watching them and I was like, oh, this is pretty sick. Was really hyped on Burrow. And I do like seeing Burrow succeed. If he wins a Super Bowl, I would be hyped. But don't really see it happening, unfortunately. So that's why I am putting him at A. They've also had some bad games this year. It's kind of hard to say because a lot of teams have had bad games this year, but they have had some very bad games. But they've also had some insane games. I mean, this past game, Jamar Chase had more receiving yards than Mahomes had passing yards. Like I said, I'm recording this basically Saturday night, so I am technically talking about week 17. Browns. Oh, this team's bad. Baker, I feel like, is definitely the issue. I could be wrong. Baker could go to a different team in a couple years or a year and outplay everyone, prove everyone wrong. That would be great for him. I don't prey on any quarterback's downfall. But you know, Baker just hasn't played good. He continues to play through an injury, which he shouldn't have done. I was saying, like, back when he first injured himself, that he should just get the surgery. Don't think they were a playoff contender at that time. and I proved to be right. Should definitely just like team's bad. They lost OBJ this year for all that. Jarvis Landry, I'm pretty sure got hurt. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he got an injury. The team had a really good run last year, but it was all just kind of like fraudulent because they lost. So Jaguars are also going down here. Now, I want to be very clear. This is for the 2021-2022 season. Jaguars had Urban Meyer. Not exactly the greatest weapons for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence hasn't exactly played all that well either, in my opinion. But I feel like he'll definitely get better within the years. This past quarterback class, I feel like has a lot of talent as far as like the ceilings that they can reach, their potential, super high potential. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is one of those that I feel like has a lot of potential. It's just he's in a shitty situation this year with Urban Meyer being one of the worst coaches of all times. I don't want to ever see him in NFL again. Absolutely horrible. How are you going to kick a kicker? Like, come on, man. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Now, I'm going to go to the Lions, right? So the Lions is going to be an interesting one. I'm putting them in the same category as the Browns, right? I want to put them in C, but I feel like they'll piss people off. Lions... Just the record shows that they're so bad, but watching them play, like, they actually give you hope, and that's the worst part about it. Lions are bad though. They are fun to watch. They are America's team now. Fuck the Cowboys. Everyone wants the Lions to win. Packers are playing the Lions tomorrow. I might even start cheering for the Lions halfway through the game. I don't know. It's hard not to get behind this team. Dan Campbell, his first year went kind of bad. He does have Jared Goff. I think the team will definitely get better within the years. Like, they might finally have a decent playoff run within the next few years, maybe. Vikings, I will put up here in C. They've had their games. They've shown that they're decent and can make it. Like, make it in big games. They beat the shit out of my Packers one week. And I believe they... Who else did they beat that was really good? I can't remember. Might have been the Bengals. I think it might have been. I don't know. But yeah, they just have proved that they're a good team at times. And they've also just proved that they're just not good at all at sometimes. And Mike Zimmer definitely needs to be fired. He's a horrible coach. And I think if they fire him, they should have a decent year because the team's not bad. They have Justin Jefferson, who's one of the best receivers from last year's class, if not the best receiver from last year's class. And he's just proving how good he is every game. Buccaneers, S tier, obviously. They played really well this season with all the bullshit that happens, with Chris Godwin tearing his ACL. I believe it was Chris Godwin. I don't think it was Mike Evans. I'm pretty sure it was Chris Godwin. With Gronk being hurt throughout the season, with now Antonio Brown leaving the team. He doesn't have a lot to work with, and they've still won games. Like, several games that they've won, he's thrown a touchdown to like some random receiver that I've never heard of. And it's just, the team's good, okay? That, like, there's not much to say about it. They're reigning Super Bowl champs. I don't think it's crazy to put them in S tier. They're playing like they could go right back there and win another Super Bowl. And here's where we get into the tricky teams. 49ers, I'm going to put in B tier. Now hear me out, right? They play really well sometimes and they play really bad sometimes, and I don't know what to think about it because this team shows that they can be really good, but they also show that they can literally fall right on their fucking face so many times, and it hurts to see. It's like you have a team with George Kittle and Deebo Samuel on it, and Nick Bosa. I'm pretty sure they still have Fred Warner. Like, and y'all are just like fumbling so many times, like not literally fumbling, but like fumbling the bag. You know what I'm saying? They just are, oh boy, it is rough watching them play sometimes. But yeah, I think they're a B tier team at the end of the season. I would say they probably have a really good chance of next year being really great. I don't think they're going to keep Jimmy G as a starter, and I think Trey Lance will have a rough start starting next season, but I think once he gets into like the swing of things, I think he'll be fine. I don't think they'll have an issue with him. Falcons, F. Falcons are horrible. Also, Falcons do have talent, and with taking Kyle Pitts, you guys should be doing good things, but you aren't. Just the team is just sometimes bad, like really bad, and Should I feel like I should. I think I'm gonna move it up to D. I don't think they're as bad as the Jets and Jags, but they're definitely bad. I mean, they have literally lost like a lot of their receivers, so I see why, but like they are bad. And for Ravens, I'm also gonna throw them right in the B tier with 49ers. I know Lamar's been hurt several games, but Lamar's just having a bad year, and this is coming from someone who defends Lamar. Even whenever people are like, oh, he's a running back. He's not a running back. Stop. Just stop. It's cringy. You're not quirky. It's not funny anymore. It wasn't funny to begin with. Just stop saying it. It is hard to see sometimes that Tyler Huntley goes out there and plays better than Lamar is. And it's just the team's good. They can be good. But they just need the receiving core, and I don't get what that team has against getting a good receiving core for Lamar. Marquise Brown's not good. I'll die on that hill that he's not good. At least he's not good on the Ravens. He has butterfingers. That man could have a ball placed perfectly into his hands, and he will drop that motherfucker. And I don't think I've seen Sammy Watkins do anything for this team. If you're a Ravens fan watching this, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's done anything for this team, which everyone was like, oh, might be different. No, it's not any different. I don't think anyone said that either. Next up is the Bears. This one's kind of hard for me to decide on where I want to put him. I'll put the Bears in C for this year, because Nagy has been horrible. I hope he's gone at the next season. Because even though they're in the same division as me, it would help if Nagy was still there. You know, there's got to be some competition at some point for the Packers, and now's the time. Great receiving core. Justin Fields, my favorite quarterback that came out of this past class. Hurt to see him go to the Bears, but I get to see him play 2 times a year, so that's fine. I get to see him tear up our awful defense twice a year. It is hard to rate this team high when Nagy is so bad at what he does, and decided to trade. I believe they traded up. They did trade up for Justin Fields, making it seem like they were going to start him, only for them to start Andy Dalton, which was not the move whatsoever. Fields, I feel like, has proved that he can play better, but that horrible O-line has also been an issue. I just remembered that the O-line constantly hitting Fields. I'm pretty sure he had a rib injury. He might have had broken ribs, if I remember correctly. Something with his ribs, because man's getting hit like 8 times in a game. You just can't have that, especially on your rookie quarterback. So at that point, would have put Andy Dalton in, obviously. But it's just, they should have done better. They should have, but they didn't. Cowboys, that hurts me to do too. Because every year, Cowboys fans are like, oh, this is our year. Every year, they're wrong. This year, they might be right. The team's played well. Like, there's not much to say about it. Defense has been great. I'm tired of seeing Trayvon Diggs Defensive Player of the Year stuff, though. No. If any person on that defense should win Defensive Player of the Year, it should be Micah Parsons. Under no circumstances should Trayvon Diggs win Defensive Player of the Year. I don't care how many interceptions he has. I'm pretty sure I saw a stat the other day. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about this number. I just don't want to give out false information. That's why I say I'm pretty sure. Stuff like that. He has given up 1,000 yards in receiving this season, like, just giving up that, like, but those 11 interceptions or whatever it is doesn't make up for it. It might help my fantasy team, but it doesn't make up for it. He should probably not worry about so many interceptions next season, work on actually locking up players. But yes, I do think they could be a Super Bowl contender, a Super Bowl team. I think they could win the Super Bowl even. That's really it I have to say for the Cowboys. Texans are here. Texans are bad. All I have to say is they've had a really rough season, and please get Brandon Cooks off that team. Brandon Cooks is the only good player on that offense. This team's bad. It's really bad. Davis Mills might be the starter now, which is odd. He has had a few good games. Tyrod Taylor, once again, has had another season where he gets a chance as a starter, and it's kind of just like gets benched for a 3rd round pick. Like, that's rough. It really is rough. Sucks to see for Tyrod Taylor, but it is what it is. Texans are bad, like really bad. They did blow out the Chargers though. Colts, A tier, right? Putting them in with the Bengals. I could rank them lower. Like, I could put them in with these guys, but even though I'm pretty sure they have the same record as 49ers, I think they're better. Jonathan Taylor is truly like the best running back in the league right now. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't win MVP, Jonathan Taylor has to. Like, I don't see any way around that. Jonathan Taylor's been incredible. The Colts offense has kind of been lackluster. I don't think Carson Wentz is horrible. I think he's what's necessary for the team to do well, and kind of just like a placeholder. I don't think he's a transition quarterback, but he is who's gonna be their quarterback for a little bit. Kind of like a Ryan Tannehill situation. Basically the same thing. Really good running back. Pretty above average offense. And just kind of when he does need to throw, he will, but the offense is focused around running. And defense is also good. They got DeForest Buckner. Why the 49ers ever decided to let him go blows my mind. They also have Darius Leonard, and I can't name any of their secondary players, but all of them really good. Definitely could see this team winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl. It wouldn't surprise me. A tier, S tier teams, I could see in the Super Bowl. It's just the S tier teams are going to be what teams I feel more likely will end up in it. And the Rams. Probably a month or two ago, not even a full 2 months, I would have had this team up here. But Stafford, even though I have said so many good things about this man, has just proved so many times that he cannot take Detroit out of it. It's had several high interception games, and yes, they've won some of those games, but it's dude, come on, you're supposed to be the guy, and he hasn't been the guy in my opinion. He has been the guy, right? But he's having some bad games. The offense has just kind of been bad ever since they picked up OBJ. He is the issue. I'm just kidding. I think OBJ has actually helped this offense, considering what was his name? Robert Woods. Robert Woods got hurt a while back, and he's definitely been able to step in and take over that spot. And the defense, obviously, I don't really need to say anything about the defense. They have two of the best players at their position on their team, with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. They also decided to go in and take Von Miller. Don't know why. I don't know if Von Miller's made a play with them yet or not. He might have. That's really all for the Rams, though. Think they could go to the Super Bowl still. Chargers. I'm gonna have to put the Chargers at B. And look at that, we have 3 teams in each category now. It's kind of seeming to pan out. Chargers are here because they're just too inconsistent. Justin Herbert, Burrow, love the two. I think they're great. I think they have really high potential to do stuff good in this league. It's just, once again, good players prove that they can do bad. This Chargers team lost in a blowout game to the Texans. That's all I have to say about this. The team's decent at times. The team's really good at times. Herbert's really good. But they just, whenever it comes to consistency, they fall. And I feel like these two teams also fall in consistency quite a bit. I feel like these teams don't fall in consistency as much as these 3 teams do. And that's why these guys are here. Raiders, same thing, inconsistent as hell. We're really good starting off the season. They've just had so many issues. So many. Really, really big issues. Between Henry Ruggs situation was horrible. John Gruden thing. Had multiple players just get in trouble for stuff, and it's really bad. I truly hope there's nothing actually wrong within the organization, because it's bad seeing all the stuff that's happened to them. And really, they've had to fight through this. They've had to just play every game none of it happened. And whenever you're talking about, these are people who've coached them, people who have played with them, they can't just ignore it. It has to take some sort of toll on them, and they just haven't played as consistent through that. Derek Carr was looking like he was playing MVP level first few weeks, and they fell off, which kind of sucks. So that's that. Washington, I don't want to put, I'll put them in D. The reason why I put them in D is because their offense, really, their defense was also underwhelming this year from what I remember. I don't remember a lot about Washington's games, but I do know that their defense, at least at the start of the season, was really underwhelming, when they were one of the most hyped up defenses coming into the season because of how well they played last year. They had Chase Young coming into his second year, wasn't that great, tore his ACL, I'm pretty sure, ended the season early. Really sucks to see. And you can just hope that if you're a Washington fan, the team bounces back, and their new name and logo leaked. And I'm not gonna say what it is, right? Because I don't want to get in trouble, because I could get in trouble for that, most likely, probably. And I also don't want to spoil it, but it's bad. It's not as bad as Washington football team, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's like, just, the team doesn't have a name. What else do I need to say? Chiefs, once again, I hate the Chiefs, right? I don't hate the players on the team. Nothing against like the organization. Chiefs fans just make me hate the Chiefs. Like, I don't know what more to say. They're great, man. They're great. I'll say it. They're good. Like, they came back after I thought they were horrible. They came back from looking horrible too. I won't add that I thought they were horrible. They looked horrible. I didn't think this team was gonna make the playoffs this year, and they just came back and did what the Chiefs always do. It sucks. I'm really upset about it, but they did it, and yeah, the Chiefs are good. I mean, they got a top 10 player at wide receiver, a top 5 tight end, maybe even top 3. I don't really know how people would feel about that this year. A top 5 quarterback. Like, they have great players at positions. Defense is kind of where they've lacked, yet that defense has come back and played better the second half of the season. They could very well be going to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. Mahomes would be the 4th ever quarterback to do that if he did do that. And there's not much to say. They're the Chiefs. They're good. It's cursed everyone to have to watch these guys go back. It's like the Patriots all over again. Where's the variety in our life? Saints. Oh god, Taysom Hill really annoys me, and I want to throw him an F for this, but I'll throw him in D. Now, like, they did beat the Bucks, right? Oh crap. Bucks sucks. As of right now, I think the Saints could still make the playoffs. I think they would switch with, who in the NFC would they switch with? I'm trying to think now. The Saints right now, I believe, could switch with San Francisco. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how, but I just saw it from watching football that they were still in the hunt, and San Francisco was the only one that would clinch playoff spot. But dude, like, Jameis got hurt, really screwed up the season. I should have put you guys in F for violating the Packers week 1. Have a lot of potential with this team. Really good defense at times. The offense has really been plagued by not having their best receiver on the team, and then their quarterback getting hurt, and then Sean Payton thinking Taysom Hill is a quarterback when he's fooling everyone. He's not a quarterback. Taysom Hill just really upsets me. Anytime I say Taysom Hill on the field, I am preying on his downfall. I want them to lose. I don't want him to get hurt or anything, because that's fucked up to think. I just want the Saints to lose. Every time I see Taysom Hill, I don't like Taysom Hill. I'm ranting now. Oh boy, the Giants. Literally, I would probably go as far to say the Giants are like the worst team in the league. I know Daniel Jones has been out. He got like a neck injury or something. The team's just bad, dude. Like, there's not much to say about it. The team's bad. Offense is bad. Defense is bad. Do they have any good players? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Kadarius Toney's pretty good. Daniel Jones has his moments, and oh god, his big moments are so big that makes us like question it sometimes, but he is bad. He should play wide receiver though. Kind of moving on from them. Just no, don't want to talk. Eagles. Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw them in here. I don't think they belong in here. I don't think they're as good as these teams or as consistent. I don't know how they go in the playoffs. They're a 1st round exit. I know that. But just like kind of average team. Looked really good to start the year off, and then just kind of descended and then reascended and made themselves seem good. I don't know. Like, team's just not that good. Not much to say about it. Jalen Hurts is developing pretty well. Like, he's looking good out there when he is playing. Minshew has played the last like one game. He's played like 2 games out of them. And it's Minshew mania time. Throw him on a team. Throw him as a starter. But Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. That's a good idea. Speaking of Pittsburgh, you're also going in the same category because you guys suck. Juju got an injury, ended his season. So the TikTok dancer has now been their starter, the one who dances before handing the ball off to potentially win a game, and then blames it on other people. That guy, which I'm just giving him shit. I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. People make mistakes. I feel like people criticize the receivers on this team way too much. Like, people just criticize them way too much. I've seen more memes about Steelers receivers than anyone else in the NFL. Sad that Big Ben is retiring, right? They're bad. Big Ben was bad. He's washed. With him being out, the team could actually do something in the offseason. Depending on who they have for quarterback, obviously, you know, it could go multiple different ways. The defense is decent. Don't really... TJ Watt's Defensive Player of the Year. No shot anyone takes it away from him. That's really it for that. Broncos. Join Washington football team. I don't think this team's good. I don't think they know what to do with quarterback. I don't think there is something for them to do with quarterback. The team's bad. On the bright side, they have Jerry Jeudy. That's about the only bright side I can think about. Javonte Williams is a bright side. He's played really well this year. And if they would have handed it to Javonte Williams instead of Melvin Gordon, they wouldn't have fumbled, but we're not going to talk about that. And Drew Lock, I don't think is the answer either. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think is the answer. Teddy Bridgewater is just getting hurt anywhere he goes. I don't think he's the answer. No, they're bad. I don't know. Packers, baby, up here. This team has been through this year. We've had some of the best players out. Like Bakhtiari's been out, Zadarius Smith, Jair, all been out really, like most of the year. And they've, like, the Packers have still come up and won where it matters. It's a team that likes to really sit on the edge for games, like barely beating the Browns, which I don't know how to feel about that. Barely beating the Ravens, also don't know how to feel about it, but it is what it is. I still think the team's probably, like, bias aside, I still think if I wasn't a Packers fan, I would think that right now they are my favorite to go to the Super Bowl as far as the NFC. Don't really see any other team other than like these two being able to stop them, honestly. And not even because I don't think the Buccaneers are like super great like they were last year. Brady, that's what I'm concerned about. Cowboys, just like that alone, I don't really need to say anything else, but offense has played good. Came up in big games when they needed to. Also, I don't want to discredit this defense. A lot of them not even being starters. They've played well. Like, that's it. Panthers, get in there. Buddy, you guys suck. You guys are horrible. Matt Rule is apparently going to be the coach for next year, so bad news for Panthers fans. They have no idea what to do with quarterback. Cam Newton came back. Looked good in a game. Then showed he was washed in every other game. Sam Darnold also played us like a fiddle first few weeks. Bad. Like, I don't... It's so hard to know what teams are good in this league. Like, Sam Darnold, I believed in Sam Darnold. I defended him. I was like, hey, he was on the Jets. Give him a break. He goes to the Panthers. Shows he's a little better than what the Jets showed, and dips out. I don't really know what to say about the defense either, because I personally don't really know any defensive players. They have Stephon Gilmore now. Interesting. That's really it I can think about. I'm probably missing... Oh, they have Brian Burns too. They do have a few good players. Cardinals, A tier. Yes, I am not putting the Cardinals in S tier. And if they somehow beat the Packers, this will be the worst age thing ever. And I know they beat the... Actually, I will put the Cardinals up here. I lied. They've had some bad games this year. They lost to the Lions. But it's whatever. The team's great. Kyler Murray's great. Short, how he runs is funny. I like him. I have him on my fantasy team. D-Hop is great. I know D-Hop's been out for some games. It's just like the defense has been good too. It's just like kind of like the team also has just been inconsistent. Seems like they had like a half season collapse. They were undefeated until Packers beat them, and I still think they could go to the Super Bowl. As I do with all these teams, I think just these teams have a better chance of going to the Super Bowl, which is, this is like half the playoffs. I have like 4 NFC teams and 2 AFC because I don't really see. I would like to see the Bengals go, but I don't think they will. Now on to the Bills. When I'm up here, too inconsistent for me to want to put up there. I think they're great. They have a great offense, one of the best in the league. If they had an O-line that would hold, I think they would be even better. Defense is also one of the best. Secondary kind of got banged up with Tre'Davious White being out. Really hurt this team a bunch. It shows in the play. They let out big stuff sometimes. But honestly, still, I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl this year. I thought last year they were a better team. And they're rivals. Anyone that they could play in the playoffs. I don't see them making it too far in there. Still think they're a good team. I just don't think this year is their year. I could be wrong. They could play really well in the playoffs and change the trajectory of how they played, but don't know. Oh boy, the Seahawks. Seahawks are going in C. Once again, I think this team could be good. Like, just the missing stuff. Missing a line. Russ was hurt for a while. I don't really know what to say. They just didn't have the season I thought they would. Russ 100% should leave this team. I don't know what team he goes to. I don't really care because I'm not a Seahawks fan. But he should leave. I feel like he needs to leave and needs to get to a better team. That's really all I need to say for that. The team's good though. The team had its moments. Russell Wilson deep pass is always enjoying to watch. Tyler Lockett's been great from what I remember this year. A lot of deep ball catches from what I remember. Has DK had good stats this year? DK's only gotten 909 yards, which from last year of having 1,300, so it's kind of a drop. But he also had 12 touchdowns. I mean, like, this is a bigger game stretch too, and he just hasn't had as much yards, I guess. So I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say for the Seahawks. Haven't really gotten to watch them play enough. I didn't want to watch Atkins, and the offense hasn't been as good. Second half of the season for me to care about the games. Now into the Patriots. Obviously, S tier. I am so damn tired of seeing people talk about if they did a redraft, Mac Jones would go first. Mac Jones is rookie of the year. No, stop, right? This team's good. Bill Belichick, mastermind. He can take an average team and make it something crazy, right? Quit overhyping Mac Jones. He's not some super athlete. Quit comparing him to Tom Brady too. I swear, if this Patriots team goes to the Super Bowl, wins, and I see Mac Jones Tom Brady comparisons more than I already do, I will lose my mind. Stop. Mac Jones isn't Brady. I don't care if he, like, I just don't care. But yes, they are a good team. They could win the Super Bowl. It would kind of be funny to see them win the Super Bowl after being gone from it for a couple years. I hope they don't. I hope they really don't, though. Yeah, the team was good this year. Like, they did have that little first part of the season where they looked bad. That's why they were in, like, the mess section for me on my original tier list from week 7. After week 7, I think it was... Who'd they lose to? I don't remember who they lost to, but after, like, a loss, I'm pretty sure they started getting really good. Playing super consistently, winning a bunch of their games. And I just think the team's been really good since that turnaround, and obviously have shown multiple times that they can win big games. They just dominated a team the other day, like a week or two ago, maybe it was earlier, maybe it was this past week, I don't know. They just been playing really good, man. Could easily win the Super Bowl, I see. But that's it for this tier list. If you disagree completely, go in the comments and bully me. I don't care. Just leave a like in the video and subscribe. And yeah, I cannot wait for people to disagree with me for no reason. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys all did enjoy, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.